Hi, boys and girls. We're in Mrs. Becker's kitchen because we're going to do a little science today. And remember, scientists try to tell us why things are the way they are or why things work the way that they do. And they try to come up with a question to ask because they want to try to answer that question. And then they come up with an answer to the question even before they do anything, and that's called a hypothesis. And then after they come up with their answer to the question, they do an experiment. And during the experiment, they watch to see what happens. And we call that part observation, or they observe. And then they watch everything carefully and they take notes. And then at the end, they go back and look at everything and they try to answer their question. And that's when they draw a conclusion. That's what that means. Okay, so that's how scientists work. And since we're studying bears this week, and today and yesterday at preschool was all about bears because you could bring your bears to school, I thought we would use some bears in our experiment, but they're not a regular bear. That wouldn't work, would it? But they are these kind of bears. Do you know what these are? These are gummy bears. What color is this gummy bear? I know that's a yellow one. What color is this bear? Green. How about this one? Red. Oh, how about this one? Blue. And then there's one that's almost clear. It probably looks a little bit white as you look at it. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to put those gummy bears in different kinds of what we call solutions. All right, so let's count how many different we're going to have. One, two, three, four, five, six different solutions. So the first solution is plain old water. And we have to ask ourselves, what will happen to the gummy bear when we put it in the water? And I want you to know we will not know the answer to these questions today. This is going to take until tomorrow at this time. So Mrs. Becker will come back tomorrow at this time and I'll show you what happens. But what's something that could happen with a gummy bear when we put it in one of these solutions? What about the color? Do you think it will stay the same? Do you think it will change? That's one thing we can kind of look at. What about the size of the gummy bear? Do you think the gummy bear will get bigger? Do you think it'll get smaller? Will it disappear? Who knows? Anything else you can think of that we could look at? All right, so I'm going to put 2 or 3 gummy bears in the water. And I want you right now to tell me, what do you think is going to happen to the gummy bear? Will it change colors? And is it going to get bigger or smaller, or is it going to disappear? Oh, think about it. All right. So I'm going to put, how about putting a yellow gummy bear in there? And what should I do? A red gummy bear? I'll put 3 in each one. And a blue. Well, that one's pretty easy. Okay. The next thing that we're going to put, the next solution that we're going to put our gummy bears in is what we're going to call salt water. So I've got some water in here, but now I have to put a bunch of salt in it. Okay, and I have my salt here, and I'm going to use a tablespoon, and I'm going to put quite a bit of salt in here and see what happens, okay? So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do some mixing in a minute, but first I'm going to do 2. All right, let me mix it up and see where we're at. Ooh, what happens? What happened to the water when I put the salt in? No. Oh my goodness, that might be enough. I don't have the salt water going here. I'm stirring it up. And if it gets clear, I'll put some more salt in it. Let me just kind of see what happens. I don't know. I don't think it's going to get clear. I have to make what they call a salt saturated solution. Oh, I know, we've talked about that before. Well, I think that's actually pretty good. So now I'm going to get some more gummy bears. I think we should put 3 gummy bears in this one too. But before I do that, what do you think is going to happen when it goes in the salt solution? Is the color going to change? Is it going to get bigger or smaller, or is it going to disappear? I don't know. You make a guess. And remember, it doesn't matter if we're wrong. because that's what scientists do. They make guesses and then they see what happens. Oh, I got 3 gummy bears in there. All right, next we're going to do some sugar water. Okay, so this is water, and now I'm going to put some sugar in there, and I have my trusty sugar container back here. I'm going to do kind of like I did with the salt, although I put a bunch on the counter there, didn't I? So I put 1 tablespoon in there, and I've got 2 tablespoons of salt here. Let's just see what happens with the sugar. If it goes completely clear, then I'm going to put some more sugar in it. You can kind of still see the spoon, can't you? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put some more sugar in there. So this is another tablespoon of sugar. And oh, I did a much better job of actually getting it in the container. Ooh, good job, Mrs. Becker. And I'm stirring. Can you still see my spoon? Okay. Oh my goodness, what happened there? And this one, I want to have a sugar saturated solution. Who knew, right? All right. You know what? I think I'm going to put a little bit more. Oh, and we're getting close to where we need to be, I think. You know how I tell if I can still see some sugar and it doesn't seem to be mixing in, then I know I'm probably pretty good. Oh, I can still see some. So I'm going to take that out and let's put in 3 gummy bears. All right, you want to count with me? 1, I'll put 3 different colors. 2 and 3. All right. Solution number 4 is a baking soda and water solution. So this is water, and now I have to put baking soda in, and I'm going to use the tablespoon again. And it's okay, because I have a big, big container of baking soda here, don't I? All right, so I'm going to put 1 tablespoon in there, and then I have this spoon to stir here. So in this one, I want a baking soda saturated solution. Oh, goodness. And if I didn't ask you before about the sugar, what do you think is going to happen? Will the colors change? Is it going to get bigger, smaller, or disappear? And there's my baking soda solution. I think I can put a little more in there, so I'll put a little bit more in. So I'm just using tablespoons here. This is probably not as scientific as some would like, but we get the idea. Okay. Ooh, I still see some baking soda, so that means I think we're good. Gosh, what happened to the water when I put the baking soda in it? I know, look how light it is. All right, so before I put the gummy bears in with the baking soda, what do you think will happen to the gummy bear? Is it going to change color? Is it going to get bigger or smaller or disappear? All right, help me count. 1, 2, 3. Huh. Okay, now in this one, I'm going to put some milk. So let me get my milk out of the refrigerator. I may not put as much milk as I did with everything else. Just put some in here, okay? That should be good. Okay, so you know what milk is. Look, it's all white, isn't it? What do you think will happen when I put the gummy bear in? Oh, look, I discovered another color of gummy bear. What is that? Orange. I know, I don't think I had one of those before. All right, we're going to go 1, 2, and I better find a different one. 3. What do you think is going to happen? Is it going to disappear? Is it going to be bigger, larger? Will the color change? And this last solution is going to be vinegar. Vinegar. All right, so I need to put my vinegar in here first. There. Trying not to drop it all over the place. And I don't have to do any mixing with the vinegar. Just pour it in. Oh, it's clear, isn't it? Now you have to ask yourself, what is going to happen? What is going to happen when we put the gummy bears in? Are they going to get bigger, smaller, disappear? Oh, and what's going to happen to the color? 1, 2, 3. All right. So we have our experiment going now. We just started it. And we've asked our question and we've kind of come up with some answers we think might happen. And now we're going to have to wait. Sometimes scientists have to do that. They have to wait very patiently. And we're going to wait for 12 hours. So tomorrow at about 2:30, Mrs. Becker will come back. It may be a little later, but Mrs. Becker will come back and she will look and see what's going on with our gummy bears, and then I'll show you too, okay? But before we leave today, let me take my camera. Let's see if we can't look at what's going on with each of the gummy bears right now. So this is the one in water, okay? See anything going on there? Okay, this is the one in the salt water. It's really hard to see anything, isn't it? Do you see them down there? Okay. This is in the sugar water. Ooh, that's kind of fun to look at it that way. Let's look at the regular water like that. Ooh. Okay. Can you see anything there? All right. This is a milk. Or excuse me, this is the baking soda one. Can you see anything? Kind of hard to see. What about down this way? Oh, I see a yellow gummy bear. Do you? Now here's the milk. Very hard to see anything. We can't even see them, can we? And then over here, here's your vinegar. All right. There they are. All right. Really hard to tell what's going on right now. Do you see them? Okay. All right. So tomorrow, there's the milk again. Here's the baking soda. Ooh. The sugar water. The salt water. And the regular water. Okay. Ooh, do you see some bubbles in there? Okay. I see some bubbles going on. Yeah, it's kind of hard for you guys to see. There's not, oh, there might be some bubbles at the top here. Who knows? That was the sugar. Here's baking soda. Here's your milk again. Hard to see. And your vinegar. That's clear anyway, isn't it? All right, so now we've looked at what they kind of look like at the beginning of our experiment. And tomorrow we'll come back and see what they look like in about 12 hours, okay? All right, boys and girls, thanks for tuning in. I can't wait to see you tomorrow to see what happens to our gummy bears. All right, bye-bye.